Hi guys, it's Geekonomics here, bringing you a few thoughts on the likely potential questions for Extract 3. We've now got to Extract 3, which means that we have already identified questions for 1A, 1B and 1C. That means we are now on to question 2, and we go back to the original format for the A, B, C question. So A will be the 4 marker, B will be the 6 marker, and C will be the 10 marker. So for Extract 3, given once again the length of it, sort of a page and a half with quite a lot of data and so on in it, I think it's reasonable to assume that for this particular extract we will have a 4-mark question and a 6-mark question. So in our specification we are looking for an explain question, a distinguish between question, an outline question. That would be for 4 marks, and then we're looking for an analyze question. I think when we look at the specification it's fairly obvious what the likely analyze question will be. So let's look at the areas of the specification which are important for Extract 3. So for Extract 3, what is important? Well, this area here on development and sustainability, very important, given the data that we've got at the start of this particular extract with the table on the number of years of schooling and so on and so forth, all about growth and development. So there are a few potential 4-mark questions right from the kickoff. Distinguish between growth and development. So that's distinguish between economic and growth and economic development. That's a potential question for 4 marks. 2 for explaining economic growth, 2 for explaining economic development. Explain the relationship between growth and development. There's another potential 4-mark question. Understand the details and limitations of GDP per capita and the Human Development Index. Well, you'll know from your studies of economics that the Human Development Index, it does incorporate more than simply GDP or GDP per capita. It takes into account 1 or 2 other factors, one of them being, of course, adult literacy rates and education. And given that you've got in the first table in this particular extract some data on education, then again that makes this a possible for a 4-mark question at the beginning of this extract. Recognize, no. Evaluate, no. Evaluate, no. So nothing much more there that we would say would be considered worth, certainly worth 4 marks. Explain the meaning of sustainable economic development, possibly, but given the data in the table and so on, it's a bit unlikely. Explain the use and limitations of indicators such as GDP and the Index of Sustainable Economic Welfare. Again, it's a slim possibility, I guess, on this one, but I think these 3 that we identified in the first instance are much more likely. So what about then an analyze question? Well, for the analyze question, if you look through here in this particular section, you've got this one: analyze the social, environmental, resource, etc., etc. Now, I don't think that that is going to be a potential question, simply given the nature of all of the data in Extract 3. I could be wrong, of course, it has been known, but let's have a look here on the trade and integration section. Now, the reason I'm looking here is because, let me just find it here, we see the words, the terms of trade. Now, you've obviously got quite a lot of information about the terms of trade in that figure 3.2. And it does say here, candidates should be able to analyze the significance of the terms of trade and changes in the terms of trade over time, which is of course specifically what you're shown in that figure 3.2. And for that reason, I think that the question, the analyzed question for Extract 3 is going to come from this particular bullet point. The question, I think, might be as follows. Analyze the significance of the changes in Zambia's terms of trade for its economic development, for 6 marks. That's what I think. Tell me what you think. If you've got any possible alternatives, do let me know. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for this one. See you again with extra.